تضيع وقتك في هذه الأشياء.
So I think that we actually ended the previous video with this phrase, but it goes so well at the beginning of this that I think I left it in. So لماذا تضيع وقتك في هذه الأشياء? So Saleh is saying to Hassan, right? He's saying لماذا تضيع? Why do you waste? From the verb ضيع يضيع. لماذا تضيع وقتك? Why do you waste your وقت? في هذه الأشياء. In these things, right? في هذه الأشياء. Using هذه in the feminine singular because أشياء is a non-human plural.
بدلاً من اللعب معنا.
بدلاً من اللعب معنا. So بدلاً. بدل means to swap something or rather than. بدلاً من means rather than, right? But the actual verb بدل means to sort of swap something. So بدلاً من اللعب معنا. So rather than بدلاً من اللعب. اللعب is the masdar from the verb لعب, meaning to play. So بدلاً من اللعب معنا, rather than the playing with us.
أشعر بمتعة أكبر.
Okay, so Hassan says quite a number of things here, so I'm going to break this down as we go along and do it a bit at a time. So أشعر from the verb شعر يشعر. So this means to feel something. And you usually use the preposition be with it. It's synonymous with the verb حس أحس. You feel be something in the Arabic language. In English, we don't need a preposition with the verb to feel, but you just say أشعر or أحس be something. So he says أشعر بمتعة. بمتعة. It means متعة means pleasure. Okay, بمتعة أكبر. I feel greater pleasure when what is going on?
وأنا أتعلم.
Okay, so I feel greater pleasure وأنا أتعلم whilst I am أتعلم, whilst I'm learning. So I've translated wa as while, okay? So this is something which in Arabic we call a hal. It's a kind of a situation that's going on while something else is going on. So he's saying, I feel more pleasure. أنا أشعر بمتعة أكبر. I feel more pleasure while I'm doing something else. وأنا أتعلم whilst I am أتعلم, whilst I am learning.
أو أحاول البحث عن إجابات للأسئلة.
أو أحاول. So we've said وأنا أتعلم whilst I'm learning. أو أحاول or trying. So the verb حاول يحاول, the form 3 verb, it means to try something as in to attempt something. It doesn't mean to try something in terms of to test something or to taste something. That's the verb جرب يجرب, meaning to like actually taste something. Like if you go to a restaurant and you say you want to try something, as in to sample it, you use the verb جرب. But this verb حاول is to try, as in like to attempt something. So أو أحاول البحث, to or trying to find, let's say, بحث عن, to search for something. إجابات للأسئلة. So إجابات are answers, right? للأسئلة, for the questions, because a سؤال is one question, and أسئلة means questions. التي تشغلني. التي is from the أسماء الموصولة, meaning which. So the questions التي. We've used التي not just because أسئلة has a تاء مربوطة on the end, but again it's non-human plural, just like الأشياء that we saw earlier. So that تشغلني, we've actually seen this verb already, that they busy me or they occupy me. So he's saying that I feel more pleasure, أنا أشعر بمتعة أكبر. I feel more pleasure وأنا أتعلم أو أحاول البحث عن إجابات للأسئلة التي تشغلني. Okay, that's what he says. Okay, let's carry on then.
أنت أغرب من صادقتهم.
Okay, so who's this character? Bara. Okay. It sounds like the sort of thing my big brother would say to me. That's why it makes me laugh. Okay, so enter. Okay, enter, nice, straightforward. Okay, ضمير is a nice pronoun. You enter. Enter أغرب. So we saw the word غريب in a previous video. غريب just means strange. Okay, it can mean rare, but strange is right in this case. But whenever we take a sifa, an adjective like that, we put it into this like أفعل pattern, it means more or the most, right? So we take كبير, and then we have أكبر. That we actually saw in the previous line. أكبر means more or the most, right? So we have a غريب. So أغرب would mean more strange or stranger, or the most strange. So أنت أغرب. You're the strangest. من صادقتهم. You are the strangest. Men, meaning who. So you are the strangest of who? صادقتهم. So The verb صادق is a form 3 verb. صادق means to become friends with or to befriend somebody. صادقت, I befriended whom, I befriended them. This is literally saying, you are the strangest who I've befriended. You are the strangest little man, Sam, that I've ever known. It's the sort of thing my big brother would say to me. أنت أغرب من صادقتهم.
لقد أوشكت الشمس على الغروب.
أوشك is a form 4 verb. Sounds a little bit unusual because it has a wow in it as well. You don't often have this أو something, but أوشك, it means to be on the verge of something. So لقد أوشكت الشمس على الغروب. So the sun is on the verge of الغروب. الغروب is the setting. Okay, it's on the verge of setting. And why is it أوشكت? It's أوشكت in the feminine because الشمس is feminine. Okay, so لقد أوشكت الشمس على الغروب. The sun is on the verge of setting.
لابد أن أذهب إلى المنزل.
لابد أن. We actually saw لابد in a previous video. So لابد means that something must happen. I think the actual verse was something from, not verse, sorry. I'm thinking of doing tafsir here. So the actual line was Hassan saying لابد من وجود تفسير لهذا.
لا بد من وجود تفسير لهذا.
Okay, in a previous video, Hassan says there must be لابد من وجود, there must be تفسير لهذا, an explanation for this. But we have here لابد أن. So that's a good little rule actually for you guys to kind of think about when producing Arabic yourselves. So لابد من, and then you can use a noun after it, or لابد أن, and then a verb after it, because here we have a verb. لابد أن أذهب. Okay, and bear in mind as well, the verb after أن has to be منصوب, which is why it's لابد أن أذهب, I must go. لابد أن آكل, I must eat. لابد أن أقترح, I must suggest something, for example. Okay, لابد أن أذهب, I must go. إلى المنزل, I must go home. Okay, المنزل I think translates quite nicely to home. Like in English, we use home and house, and they have quite an important distinction. Like a home is where you kind of feel like you belong, but the house is just the building. I think menzil fits quite nicely to translate home, right, rather than bait, which can just be a house of any kind. And bait, the word bait means other things as well.
وداعا سأذهب أنا مع الحسن فمنزلنا بالقرب من منزله.
Bara ends this by saying وداعا. وداع means farewell. وداعا, farewell wise. وداعا سأذهب أنا مع الحسن. So سأذهب I, أنا مع الحسن, I will go with الحسن. فمنزلنا بالقرب من منزله. For our منزل, فمنزلنا, for our منزل بالقرب من منزله. Our house is بالقرب. It is by the qurb min manzilah. Okay, so qurb is from qarib, right? Qarib meaning close, the opposite of ba'id. And qarib is typically used with the harf jar min as well. So iqtaraba min means to approach something, but ibta'ada an, to distance yourself from something. So typically it's qarib min, to be close to something, but ba'id an, to be far from something. Although in Amiyya and like colloquial dialects, people quite often say ba'id min as well, but in Fusha we typically use qarib min and ba'id an. So that's what we have here. Bil qurbi min manzileh. My house is close to his house. For free bonus resources, including the Arabic conversation simulations that complement this very series, go to sammartinburr.com and join the Arabic Language Club for free.